Okay, I was asked to make another book review of the Qigong Master Yan Xin. Okay, the camera doesn't want to focus, so this is from the University of Minnesota Library, Scientific Qigong Exploration, the wonders and mysteries of Qi. And so we have Qigong Master Yan Xin, and this is with chemistry professor Rustum Roy. Actually, he was a materials science professor. Director of Materials Research Lab at Penn State University, 1997. So, here's the samples of bromine and hexane mixture that were treated with Qi. Okay, so basically, this book is written by one of the top nuclear physicists of China at the time, Lu Zuyin, and it's sort of like his memoir. It was published in 1997, and he's just going through the experiments he did with Yan Xin. And I'm not going to go into all the details, but basically there was a lot of skeptics about his research, but so he made sure that they could not establish any other explanation except that it was the external Qi energy from Yan Xin. Now, what I didn't realize about Yan Xin was that he started training with Master Haidong at age 9, and Master Haidong was the guy who did the one-finger handstand, and he was teaching at Shaolin, but he wasn't technically a Shaolin abbot. But okay, this book thanks Miss Hui Wang. I think this might be the same Hui Wang who's listed as a co-author out of New York City. So Yan Xin, he's listed as a co-author for this New York Research Institute. And so there was some speculation he might have moved to New York City, but there's nobody's been able to find him online. And so one of his papers from 2007 was recently retracted. And the reason it was retracted is because the editors said that people complained about it. I found a blog of somebody they had actually complained about the paper. And so the editors said that the authors of the paper provided no way to explain how this Qi energy could work. And so my whole point, my research has been for the past 20 years is to argue that noncommutativity is what explains how Qi energy works. And so if you read this book, of course, they don't mention noncommutativity. They are focused on, it's all on Western medicine and Western science. So the guy, he's actually a nuclear physicist researcher. And so first they prove that Yan Xin's energy is able to change the DNA structure. So it's changing the proton arrangements in the cells. And they show it changes the chemical structure. And then they show that there's some kind of gamma radiation effect, that it can actually change gamma radiation and neutron emission. And also what's the most fascinating part, sort of the climax of the book, is the radiation decay rate experiments. And so what they had, Yan Xin, he both accelerated and he slowed down the decay rate. of the gamma radiation. And he also did this long distance. He did it from, I think, 2,000 kilometers, but then at the very end of the book, they mentioned he did it from the United States also. So at the final part of the book is they have the actual studies that they've done. But if you read the actual book, he's saying how they would do these experiments and then they would present their results to other scientists. And the other scientists were completely skeptical in China. And so they would devise other ways to do the experiments to try to make sure you could rule out it wasn't any other possibility, that, you know, there was all sorts of other possibilities. And as the final section of the book is Yan Xin himself writing his own experiences exploring the healing mechanisms by Dr. Yan Xin. So again, he doesn't really explain how, like, why Qi works. And so again, my point is that noncommutativity explains why Qi works, how it works, and what they basically they prove in this research that it's definitely non-local. And so another thing is they start out with there's a journalist. They start out, the way they found out about him, there was a journalist who spent 6 months with Yan Xin just documenting all the healing work that Yan Xin did. And then after that, reading that research, and that included healing fractured bones that the Western medicine wasn't able to heal successfully. So then the nuclear physicists got involved, and so basically this Western science, they still don't know. They said, well, we got to retract the research because we can't explain how it works. So I'm just saying that noncommutativity does explain how it works, and I'm not the only one who says that. That's what Eddie Oceans figured out also when he was working at the Stanford Linear Accelerator Center. He realized the secret of neigong is noncommutativity. And that's what the Qigong training is. It's also called neigong as internal martial arts. So that's the thing. I didn't realize Yan Xin had trained in martial arts since age 9 with Hai Dong, who could do the one-finger handstand and went without sleep for 60 years and all this. And so when Yan Xin would do these long-distance experiments, he would call them up and tell them exactly when he was sending the Qi, and, they would... So it was all... It's a really fascinating book. And, of course, Western science, they freak out. They're like, no, this can't be true. So I'll just leave it at that.